Filthy casuals. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 3VO podcast where we are all on the same team. I'm one of your hosts today, Brendan.
And I'm the other one, Jordan.
And if you're new here, we're just two big old nerds who love video games, and we love to share our love of video games with you. So, if you too are a lover of video games, then you are in the right place. As always, it's time to check in. Jordan, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
It's been a pretty good week or so.
Yeah.
It hasn't been bad. I have an interesting thing that I want to bring up, this being our filthy casual episode.
You always start the show out with like a public service announcement.
This isn't going to be one of those. This actually isn't going to be one of those.
No, but I'm here for it, so no.
It's something I noticed in the last couple of weeks about myself that I want to see if it's something else that somebody else can relate to. And there's a DND metaphor that I need to use in order to make this make sense.
Yes,
I do. This really makes sense. So, and harsh, like, big generalization because there's certain exceptions, obviously, but generally in D&D, the best thing that you can roll is a natural 20, meaning that whatever you're trying to do, you do it like the best you could do it.
Sure.
And the worst thing you could roll is a natural 1, meaning you fuck it up catastrophically.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that there are like things in your life that you just like, not always, but just sometimes you will roll a natural 1 on like one particular thing? Like, it's like an innocuous, like, whatever dumb thing that should be simple, but, like, just every once in a while, you just get that bad fucking roll, and you're just like, I can't.
Yeah, holding anything in my two hands.
Just, like, holding anything, period.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because I realize mine's a little bit more specific.
Oh, okay.
I have trouble with jars.
Jars?
Like
opening them?
No, closing.
Oh, I know. You get like... And it's
I just get it, and it just... The angle is just... No, it just doesn't fucking happen. I don't know why.
I get you. No, that definitely happens for me sometimes, but I don't know. You just go reversies a little bit, and then it usually catches, and then you go forward.
I have broken jars. Like, I have broken lids and jars before, with just, like, trying to fix them and put them back on. That's what I mean when I say rolling a natural 1.
That's rolling
like,
a natural
it goes catastrophically sometimes.
Wow, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem.
The amount of times growing up that I've been yelled at because somebody will pull something out of, like, the thing, and they realize it's gone bad because it wasn't closed properly. Because I spent 5 minutes trying to figure it out, and just it wasn't fucking happening. Yeah, that's mine. Just
wow.
That's all. Just wanted to.
I feel like this has happened recently. Do you need to talk about it?
It wasn't as bad recently. I just noticed it. What was I fucking? I was opening a jar of peanut butter to get a spoonful of peanut butter because I'm an animal.
You are not an animal.
Okay, do you do this too?
That is my friend you're talking about. You be nice.
I fucking, my roommate and our friend Jess saw me doing it a while back, and she was like, "Are you just eating a spoonful of peanut butter right now?"
I absolutely do that though.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely,
it's a wonderful little snack.
It's a nice little yeah.
Sometimes you're just gonna like it's not too much.
Yeah. Oh, and it's easy.
It's easy. You just scoop and you're good to go.
And it's easy on the tummy.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, good. She looked at me like I was fucking crazy for doing this.
No, I absolutely eat spoonfuls of peanut butter. And if I'm feeling like this is late at night, I need a dessert moment.
Yeah.
Then I'll get the bottle of chocolate sauce too and have a little chocolate sauce on top.
The one that somebody told me to do was that you do just like the spoonful of peanut butter, but you just sprinkle like some chocolate chips in it too.
Also that.
And I'm like, okay, that sounds fucking bomb. But then I don't want to get to the place where I start on that path, and then I just have a jar of peanut butter that I just pour chocolate chips into, and I'm just sitting there just like shoveling that into my mouth. I'm like, that's going to be too much. I'd rather not even let myself go down that road. It was like a dangerous gateway into just like me sitting on a couch with a bag of chocolate chips and a jar of peanut butter, just like,
just double fisting
just going into it like a fucking animal. Yeah.
You're not an animal. Spoonful of peanut butter, totally normal.
Okay, cool.
Totally normal.
Other than that, though, I mentioned it earlier before we started recording, and no spoilers, obviously, because it just came out, but I went and saw The Batman recently.
Yes.
Which was, I kind of went into it with some lower expectations, just because DC has been, just everyone can have their own opinions, but other than, with a couple of exceptions, DC has been kind of disappointing with, like, some of their movies as of late.
Okay.
So I was just kind of like, And also, like, I'm kind of done with, like, some of the bigger names right now in DC. Just because, like, fuck, we know. Like, we know. Right. You know what I mean? Like, we know. Right. Mm-hmm. This was cool, though. It was a very different take on some of the... This isn't spoilery, but, like, it's a very interesting different take on, like, the Riddler and how you normally see him portrayed. Very different take on Bruce Wayne and Batman, which I thought was really, really cool.
Somebody pointed out, it's like... They finally got to the Riddler, who's so much more an interesting villain than just about all of them.
An insanely fascinating... like, fucking villain.
Somebody brought that up to me. I don't remember who, one of my friends, but like, yeah, somebody was like, Riddler's so much cooler than everybody.
It has been my thing for a long time, and it's something that me and the wife agree on in terms of like Batman stuff, is that it's like, we're both sick of the obsession with the fucking Joker in the Batman universe. Yeah. Where it's just like, I get it, he's a great villain, and he's a favorite, and I understand it, but like, the repertoire in the Batman universe of like great, interesting villains you could pull from is a long list. So it's like
so many.
Yeah. So why just like focus on that one? And Paul Dano fucking kills it. He's awesome at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's nice to get into the Riddler and just like other DC villains, Batman villains in general. Because like you said, there are so many.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like oversaturated with Joker, I feel.
He has his own fucking movie now. Like, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think
we're good.
Yeah. Also, I think it's time for some other heroes to get some spotlight, I think.
Oh, for sure. Can
we get a Teen Titans movie?
That would be fucking cool. Right? That would be really sweet. Well, we have the TV show, so I don't know if the movie's going to be coming out soon.
That's true. But
yeah. I haven't watched the show because I saw that one. I saw the first trailer where it's like Robin beating the crap out of a bunch of dudes, and one was like, "Who do you think you are, Batman?" And he like shoots a guy and goes, "Fuck Batman!" You know, I was just like, "All right, this is what we're doing."
I didn't catch
this
that.
Is what, oh man, it didn't look good. I've heard the show's actually not bad, but just like when that was my intro for it, I was like,
for sure. I didn't catch the trailer, so
did also get through the first season for Peacemaker.
Oh, how was that?
I don't know how that show's so good. Like it's really good.
It's that John Cena effect. It's like, why is it so good?
Here's the thing that I'll say, and then this is like non-spoilery too, or as non-spoilers you could get, just kind of like, everything people kept talking about was that it was like, I can't believe how fucking funny John Cena is, like, da-da-da-da. I'm just kind of like, I was a wrestling fan growing up, and I saw the rise of John Cena in the WWE, and he was always charismatic. Like, he always had like that ability to go out and just like charm the audience. So I was like, that's not shocking to me at all.
Right.
Like, my take on John Cena has always been like, yeah, this is a theater kid who liked to work out. Like, that's how you become a wrestler. Just
Makes sense.
He has some really good moments, like, as far as like acting goes. Not that comedy isn't acting, but just like a very emotional side that I didn't think that he was going to do as well as he did. He did a really, really fucking good job.
Nice. For people who didn't see the newest Suicide Squad movie,
yes,
wherein Peacemaker, the character played by John Cena, was introduced, do you think that people need to have seen that movie to appreciate the Peacemaker series, or do you think they'll be okay without it?
You'll be okay without it. Like, okay. I think there's some context involved that would make you a little bit confused.
Okay.
Because they kind of call back to the stuff with like Amanda Waller and what happened with that mission and like why Peacemaker is doing what he's doing right now to kind of
specifically
because he's still making up for the fact that he was in prison. So it's like this is now another thing to kind of reduce his sentence basically.
Got it. Okay.
Some of that context might be a little missed, but I don't think you like need to see it. But here's the thing: if you're watching Peacemaker, that means you have HBO Go, and Suicide Squad is on HBO Go. So if you need to, you can just watch it. Yeah.
So there you are.
Yeah, you're still good. Like, yeah.
I was just curious.
No, for sure. I don't think you necessarily need it, but just, you know, there might be some context that might need to be filled in.
For sure.
Yeah.
What have you been doing as far as video games are concerned?
Gaming goes, it hasn't been a ton of stuff lately. Just still going through my legendary run for Mass Effects.
Yeah, nice.
I finished up Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
Which was awesome.
Yep.
I did, so... I'm glad you brought this up, actually, because it was another one of those things where it was just kind of like... Brendan got me into watching speedruns a while back, which are delightful and fun, but they also frustrate the fuck out of me. This is just like... It's like those... Because it's like those moments where you'll see them just like... walk in and blow through a section that you spend about an hour on every single fucking time.
And they're so cavalier about it.
They're so just like, and just click, and I'm done. And we're moving on. You're like, fucking, what?
They're like, so there's, and the way they do it too. They're
it's the worst.
So there's the whole level. You can play through that for an hour, or if you just like go on top of this box and then wedge in between these walls, you can walk to the end of the level.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
But it wasn't even that though. It was I got to the final fight with the big human Reaper thing that you got to fight at the end there.
Yes.
That is. I love Mass Effect. That fight's a pain in the ass. Because I kind of hate anything where it's like, shoot these specific things in order to actually do damage.
At this specific time.
At this specific time. And like, it's just like, this fucking artificial difficulty. Just like, you're making me wait isn't difficult. Right. But, so I did this time, and by the time I got there, I had like the M90 fucking like cane or whatever it's called. The big nuclear bomb weapon that you could get.
Big boy.
The big boy, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Pulled that out, shot it twice, and I was done.
Nice.
I was just like,
nice.
This is
it's
okay.
It's the shark bazooka.
Pretty much.
At the end of. Oh, spoilers for Arcane if you haven't seen. Sorry.
Yeah, we're fucking years down, and you just said shark bazooka, like they didn't like.
That's true. But okay, yeah. So you're getting through. You're gonna start 3 then soon.
Gonna start 3 soon, probably. Might take a little break just to make sure I don't burn myself out too much.
For sure.
And depending on like, because it's like depending on what happens with like what we're doing with our streaming and whatnot. Mass Effect is still something I would like to do on stream. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to burn myself out on it too much right now.
Well, you've only been playing it like at least once a year for how many years, and it hasn't happened yet.
So I looked at it because every time I save the data for it, it shows like the hours I've spent in Mass Effect.
I can only imagine.
I'm already at like 260 hours altogether. I think that's with both.
You know, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, no.
That's not as bad. Because, like, each game is, like... Well, once you get good at it, probably less. How many hours do you think each game takes you?
Each game... Well, in this one, I'm trying to do a lot more stuff in each game. Like, I'm trying to get through a lot of the... like, all of, like, the side missions and stuff. Like,
okay, but, like, your average, like, before...
Average before, once I got, like, let's say I got, like maxed out on everything.
Like, yeah. But you were just doing your, like, normal playthrough.
Just doing my normal playthrough. Yeah, probably, like, 20 to 30 hours.
20 to 30 hours
20
a game,
to 30 hours around then. Yeah.
So that hour total does actually represent quite a lot of playthroughs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. But what about you? What's been going on?
Streaming.
Yes!
So as of the recording of this, we have streamed a handful of times now. Enjoying the crap out of it. It's so fun.
It was so much fun.
It's really, really fun.
I've only been for it once now for our duo stream, but it was such a blast.
Our 2 stream. But I've streamed Pokemon and I've streamed Elden Ring, which I also started playing.
Yeah.
Which is like the new hotness right now.
I've heard.
Not your hotness for sure, but like
never gonna be my hotness. Never gonna be my thing.
Never. Not even on your radar. I understand.
No. I might try it out for a stream if people want me to, but like if the need is there. But beyond that, it's just I don't.
No, and I totally get it. And honestly, like, knowing you and what kind of games you like and things that you don't like about video games, this game would frustrate the hell out of me.
Okay, thank you.
It would frustrate the hell out of me. Because it's even frustrating me a little bit with like the inventory system and the complexity of it.
Right.
But I think it's on the like just the outer reaches of the level of complexity that I can handle.
Gotcha.
Anything more, and I think I'd be like, well, I'm done with this. But it's complicated, but it's still fun. The biggest thing in Elden Ring for me is that there's no quest guidance system. You're relying completely on your brain, and like that's a lot. But we live in the age of the internet, so you're not really.
It helps out a lot.
You're not really relying on your brain entirely.
But that's kind of like the Bloodborne Dark Souls system, though, isn't it? That's kind of like you start going and then you go.
You know, I couldn't tell you.
From what I only played a little bit of Dark Souls, and from what I remember, it was just like you wake up in like a dungeon cell, and then you're just like you're getting shit, and you're on your own, and it's just like that's it.
And there's like not much guidance. That could very well be it. And that wouldn't be super surprising because it's the same people.
Yeah. And George Martin.
Right.
My wife is so mad about that part of Elden Ring.
Why?
Because there's still another fucking book for the not Game of Thrones but the Song of Ice and Fire series that he's been promising. Well, here's what got her mad, right? Is that she follows his blog that he does, and he put out a thing that was just like, I'm getting so sick of people asking me. Of course, I'm still working on the book. Just like leave me alone. I'm getting it done. And she was just like, you don't get to be this mad, sir. Like you've been promising this book for like 10 fucking years now. It's been 11 years since the last book came out.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I'm all about like artists and creatives in general
like
working at their own speed.
Yeah,
but this is like, he promised it was going to be out like 6 years ago. So it's like, sir, I get it. Like, like it's your book. It is your book, but you don't get to be like this, like persnippety about it.
That's funny. Huh. Well, I mean, his consulting on this game was probably a lot less than it would be to like make a book. I would think.
I don't know though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would like to. That's where I would be interested in Elden Ring, to see just kind of like, all right, what did George Martin do as like
behind the scenes,
a behind the scenes thing?
Yeah,
because that's my question whenever I see somebody who isn't necessarily in the video game medium working on stuff. Like, I still want to see. I still want to know like what Del Toro was doing with Kojima when they were going to be making what PT was supposed to become. Like, I would still like to know like what his, like, was he just writing? Like, was he like setting up environments, or like kind of like creating the aesthetic for it? Like, that would be something.
What's the level of involvement? What's the level of creative play that they have?
Yeah, when someone who wasn't traditionally in that medium, like switching over to doing something like that. I think it's still cool that we're seeing that like crossover though. Yeah, that there's like other artists who aren't typically in that medium, kind of going like, oh, there's so much cool shit you could do with this. Like, so no, I'm gonna go jump and play in this sandbox for a little while. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, collaboration, getting two unlike, creatives together to work on a project is going to make that project just incredible.
Yeah, especially George R. R. Martin and the guy who makes, like, Dark Souls
and
stuff like that. Just kind of like, oh, you like breaking people's spirits? Me too!
I love
Oh my god!
I love that. That's the two.
Let's do this!
That's what brought these two parties together.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding? Of course. Have you seen the clip of George Martin watching people react to people seeing the Red Wedding scene from Game of Thrones? The man is cackling like Santa at Christmas. Like, it is. He's like clapping his hands like he thinks it's the fucking best. Watching people just like start crying.
Oh man. Well, okay. But I guess you kind of need to be that way a little bit if you want to create something, that has that profound effect on people.
For sure.
And we eat it up. So.
And I'm not saying that it's like not without like merit or talent. The man's a brilliant fucking writer. Can't pretend he's not. Yeah. I've only read half of one of the actual books, but that's
more than me.
It's so much. I love fantasy, but it's just like so much detail.
It's a lot.
So much. I know what a castle looks like. Like, can we just fucking move on, please?
I've got an imagination. Thanks.
Like, I got it, dude. I got big stone walls. You think? Really? Okay, cool. Great. I don't need the details and the grouting. Let's fucking go.
Well, there are some people that want those details. They want to know.
The only time that made sense for me. Okay, a little bit of a tangent here. Sorry. Only time that 100% made sense to me in books was when authors were literally paid by the word. Because that's why books used to be that detailed. It was because they were paid by the fucking word. So it was like, getting that fucking money, bro.
That's a $5 sentence right there.
Half the reason why Tale of Two Cities is so fucking long.
Is that true?
That would be my why else. Like, I don't know. Why else? With certain books, it's just like, you don't need all that.
They didn't have the distractions that we have nowadays.
There is that too. But that to me, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
They're trying to fill time.
It's true. It's why plays used to be like, what, 4 or 5 hours long or something crazy? Like original Shakespeare plays were like 4 hours. Yeah, plays, sorry.
I thought you said plagues.
Oh, yeah. Just lasting decades because people are like, I'm bored. I need something to do.
That's good. Other than that, though, I've been streaming, I've been playing. I might get a new job soon.
Yay!
My husband might get a new job soon.
Awesome.
So yeah, just really...
Still a trip there, you just say husband.
I know.
Like, in a really good way. Like, it's a really good, trip.
It's pretty cool to say it, too.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just, a little bit since you brought it up, I want to talk about the streaming thing a little bit, because there was a moment that brought me a little bit of joy over the last weekend.
What's that?
Was, so you did your solo stream on... When did you do your...
Well, I did... Okay, so we streamed 2 Mondays ago.
Mondays ago we did ours.
Was Mario Kart. And the next Monday, it was my turn. I did Pokemon that day because that's what I said I was probably going to do, and I did it. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, I was just struck by the urge, and I was like, I'm going to stream, and we did Elden.
Yeah, that's what it was. Was just like, so I didn't get to watch either one of the streams because I had shit going on, but I knew we streamed on Monday by yourself. Right. And then I get a message from you on Friday, right. And you just go, so I think I might stream again tonight, and I was just like... Oh, I think he liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
it was a lot of fun. And, I didn't have like 100 people watching, but I had a you that were there or that were lurking and were like interacting, talking with me, and it's people that we know and love. You know,
which
so
is
that's
fine.
great. Yeah, no, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So to which for all the streams, thank you guys for showing up to that stuff. It made it again just the one that we did. I had such a good time.
Yeah.
That was such a fucking blast.
You're gonna have a lot of fun with the game we're playing tonight.
That's right.
on
That's
stream.
right. We're doing
So by the time you hear this, it will already have happened because that's just how our recording schedule is. We're gonna go stream right after we record this, but we are playing It Takes Two tonight, Game of the Year 2021.
Yeah.
And it's specifically a 2-player game. It's so much fun. And we're going to play it live on Twitch. So there will be a recording that goes out. So if you're not able to watch it live with us tonight, you will for sure be able to watch it on replay.
So much fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know little to nothing about It Takes Two still, other than like you
really?
briefly talking about it on the podcast and doing the
Yeah.
little like one-off episode with Garrett that one time. You guys talked about it a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
No, that's really good. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it, thinking that this might happen.
It's like an action platformer.
Yeah, I'm good with that. No, I'm excited. I'm ready to do it.
Well, now that that's all out of the way, it's time to actually get into what we're here to talk about today. And we're just providing some general updates, talking about what's going on in the gaming community, things that are on our radar, and just generally chatting. So what did you want to talk about today?
The first thing I wanted to mention, because it got announced on their Facebook page, was that it's a soft, very, very soft release date for the Dead Space remake.
Nice.
Which if you know me at all, you know I fucking love Dead Space. Basically, they just like released an image of the Ishimura. I'm guessing, if you know the games at all, it's the first place you have it's the first place you go to in Dead Space. The big mining ship out in the middle of space with a little like blinking beacon light calling for help. Just like sitting in space, and I was just like, that's so perfect. And like 2023 just like flashed on the screen, and I was just like,
nice.
Okay, so I got another year to get ready. Okay, cool. Good to know, cool. And then just like some stuff about just kind of like, here's how the sounds were in the original, here's how it's going to sound in this one, here's like some of the looks of the updated graphics, how it's going to go. So it looks like it's going to be a straight up like HD sort of like reskin and like reboot of the game. So I'm excited for that because I mean, it's not going to change a whole lot of stuff. That even if they did, I would probably still get it and be excited for it. But just like it just looks like it's going to be like a graphics update and just like general like gameplay update kind of thing. Which I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm excited.
That's all you need, really.
That's it. Mm-hmm. So it was such a good game at the time that I'm just kind of like anything that you could do to just improve on that system. I'm just kind of like I'm down for. I'm cool with. Mm-hmm. It felt like when Dead Space came out, and even looking back now, it kind of felt like it was one of those ideas that may have been a little bit too big for the time, if that makes sense. But just like there was definitely like some limitations. Like now you could do things like in horror games, especially like the gateways have opened up so much in terms of shit you could do. Like using Resident Evil as like a good example for it to me. Like things with like Mr. X in the Resident Evil 2 remake, and then in the Resident Evil 8 with Lady Dimitrescu, which is like how you have these characters that are just or these NPCs basically, or no, just like these villains in this game that are basically always on your ass, and it's not like a set moments when they could pop out of something or like do this or do that. It's like no, once they're going, they're after you. And there's no, so you just gotta fucking move and keep moving. Period. Adds such an interesting level of like tension to it that I'm hoping maybe this new Dead Space will kind of get to incorporate some of this stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Because it's like there is so many opportunities for them where they can make it just kind of like, and then at any point, at any time, something can pop out of this vent or go crawling through the ceilings and jump down on you and shit like that. Like, and it could just like, if they can make it work, that'd be great. If it's still just like I said, a reskin, I'm buying it and I'm playing the fuck out of it. I'm like, I think there's a lot of opportunities for improvement on what they had originally done. That would be like, okay, here's where we started. Technology has changed so much. Let's go ahead and start taking those extra steps now and see what we can do with this thing. Yeah.
That's exciting too for people that maybe didn't get the chance to play it the first time it was around, like this guy. Yeah. Because that's one that I've always seen and gone like, oh yeah, I'd probably play that, enjoy it. I know that you speak very highly of it. So that's kind of exciting to get an HD reskin, because that gives me a reason to buy it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it would be a good one for us to play for the podcast.
Absolutely. Maybe stream.
Yeah. There's so much cool shit in Dead Space.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
In the realm of new games coming out, have you seen anything for this new Square game called Forspoken?
Forspoken
Might not be up your alley. Might not be up your alley. It looks like another RPG sort of action adventure type situation.
Okay.
But it looks pretty cool. And it's a Square game, so I'm in.
When you say Square game.
Square Enix.
Oh, Square Enix. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's supposed to be coming out October of this year, I believe. Let me double check that. But it looks really, really interesting. Like your typical open world, in the vein of like Skyrim or Elden Ring or anything like that. But it's a Square Enix game. And yes, it is coming. It's to be released on October 11th of this year.
Cool,
so
okay.
There you go. Looks like it's going to be for the PlayStation 5. So that might be an issue for non-PS5 owners. But I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's exciting.
So just like non-PS5 owners, you mean like 80% of the population right
now?
Yeah, because no one can get a fucking PS5
Places
right now.
are getting restocked. Places are getting restocked. They're just super expensive.
No, I know. That's what I mean though. It's just kind of like it was like so where we're at now with the PS5 is we were at with the fucking new Xbox like a year and a half ago. Yeah. We're just like, we got it, but we just have to charge you like $900 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when we're gonna get more at this point. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
Stop being dicks about consoles. Just stop. Why are you buying and reselling them? Let people have fucking joy.
Oh my god.
I hate this shit.
Yeah.
This is the worst it's ever fucking been. It's the worst it's been.
Well, maybe if companies paid people better, people wouldn't have to do that.
There is definitely fucking that too. But I also know there's also just assholes who are just like buying them up once they come out and like reselling them at a higher price to fucking gouge the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dicks.
Speaking of dicks,
Yes?
hate raids are happening again.
Motherfucker!
On Twitch, can you believe? But they're targeting people using the LGBTQIA tag.
Also, they're literally just like going down the list. There's like first it was people of color, now it's gonna be LGBTQIA.
And like women are getting targeted too. Like
for sure.
Let's
like,
make no bones about it.
Oh no, like whatever marginalized group is getting attacked, like the one that's going to get attacked the most is like the woman within that group. So it's always going to be like
right, exactly. But yeah, no. So I've been seeing stuff on like Twitter, and like TikTok. People talking about like, hey, here's how to take precautions against things like this. So if you are out there and you listen to this podcast and you don't know how to protect yourself from hate raids when and if they do happen, make sure that you go find there's a lot of resources and a lot of information out there about what to do. And I could give you advice, but we only barely just started streaming. So I would definitely go get it from a more reputable source. But the broad strokes are like, go to follower only or sub only chat, go to emote only chat, clear your chat, run an ad break if you can, and like get your face off screen, because the hate raiders, they want to see your reaction. And that's what's coming out about a lot of these, is that they're actually streaming the hate raid on third-party streaming services.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that too. It's so gross. It's so
and it's like this
gross.
one user in particular who is like broadcasting the hate raids, and that's fucking sick.
And it's just like something just like, hopefully none of those people are listening or watching our fucking podcast.
You better fucking not.
You better not be. We don't want you here, first of all. But just in case you happen to see this, if I could give out a little bit of advice, and this sounds obvious, but like literally do anything else. And I mean, and that sounds like I'm being an asshole, and I kind of am, but also like, I promise you, like, doing something that is more creatively fulfilling, even doing something a little bit more artistically fulfilling in general, is a much better serotonin boost than doing this. I promise you, like, because that's all. Just understand that you're chasing a high. That's all you're doing with this. You are chasing a fucking high because you like seeing that reaction. You like getting that feeling of like that you have that power, that you were able to control something like that. I promise you. Go get clay. Like, go get a piece of paper and write. Like, do anything else, and it's way fucking... It's going to be harder work, but it's going to be way more fulfilling in the end for you. I promise. Do that instead. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. Because... There's no... I don't... And also, I think I would say, too, is just like on top of what you were saying, too, keep bugging the fuck out of Twitch. Because they're going to keep going on believing that they fixed this problem. And they're going to... Until people make it really annoying for them, they're going to keep letting it happen and not care. So stay on their ass, because otherwise it's not going to get any fucking better.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I get that, like, third-party streams and whatnot are how they're doing this, and just, like, they keep changing the system and whatnot. It has to be on Twitch to make sure this shit stops.
Yeah.
It is their platform, it is their company. They're the ones that need to be on top of this shit.
Absolutely.
They need to be the faces of the people on Twitch, the people who own Twitch and run Twitch on a day-to-day basis need to be the ones who are putting up the front of saying, this is not okay to do on this platform. Period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But also Twitch, we really, really like you. And please make us affiliates. Okay, thank you. I know Twitch isn't listening.
No, they're not listening. And also, sorry, where am I wrong? Like,
no, you're not wrong.
it's your company. Like, stay on this shit.
Absolutely. But speaking of streams and more positive news,
yes.
The Stream Awards just happened.
They did. That's right. Yeah.
I didn't catch them. To be honest,
me neither.
I don't know many of the big time streamers, but I did know the person, I don't know the person, but I know the streamer. I know of the streamer who won Best Speedrunner. And that's Small Ant. I don't know if you're familiar.
I don't know Small Ant, no.
But he does a lot of speedruns. He does a lot of stuff more in like the Nintendo world of things. But yeah, very, very notable, very popular on YouTube as well. And he won Best Speedrunner. So I was like,
that's
hey,
awesome.
I know that guy.
That's really cool. Okay.
Also, did you know that like games win categories too?
For like Stream Awards?
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
Minecraft won like Best Stream Game. Or something like
How
that.
do you, is it, okay.
I know, I was so confused.
Let's just, this is great. Let's start streaming and then immediately just talk shit on everything about streaming. This is perfect. I love our
and
setup.
just like show everybody how inept we are when it comes to the world.
Let's just move into a new town and start digging our own grave right away.
Right.
Let's just get it out the fucking game.
Yeah.
What does best, is it just the one that's the most streamed? Because like.
Maybe that's it.
Or is it, well, is Minecraft still a free game to get? Like, can you still like download it for free?
Absolutely.
So I could see it being like most accessible to stream then as well. If it's just like download and then stream right away, like you don't have to like pay a bunch of shit to make it work and whatnot.
I suppose
Maybe.
Or at least it's got to be pretty cheap, I would think.
I'm pretty sure I could still get Minecraft for free on Xbox if I wanted to.
I think you're right.
Hold on, we have the internet at our disposal right now. Let's see real quick.
We can't both be looking.
Okay, fair. Oh, I didn't realize you were already looking.
Yeah.
Are you looking?
Stream Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Okay.
Mostly it's like best variety streamer, best just chatting streamer, things like that. But then also there's individual game categories like best League of Legends streamer, best like et cetera, et cetera. So I just found that really interesting.
That makes a little bit of sense because then it's like there are like games that do get streamed a lot more than others. So it's like you do have like League of Legends, Fortnite, like the big category. So I could see like breaking up to being like, and here's who, quote unquote, the best streamer for League of Legends or for this and whatnot. Right. And is it just broken down by game?
Oh no. There's like best just chatting or best.
Oh, okay. Well, no, but I mean like within like the games themselves, because I could see it being like best person to go to watch League of Legends for if you want to like learn how to play League of Legends or like casual play for League of Legends, like
mentoring League of Legends. No, nothing
like
that.
Something like that.
Not broken down like that. No,
that might be a good idea.
No.
Also, good thing you do is to move into a new town and start telling other people how to do
it.
That's the best thing you could do. That's the best. Is just start mansplaining to everybody what they're doing wrong.
Doing really great. Wow. But yeah, so that was the Stream Awards.
That's cool.
That happened. There were also some other awards that happened recently.
There was. Right? This was one that I paid a lot of attention to. Because,
tell me more. I'm really interested to learn more.
So this year was the second year that they did the Accessibility Awards.
This is only their second year.
This is only their second year. It got established last year. Two online content creators, Alana Pierce, who I've talked about before on this thing.
Okay.
And this other gentleman named Steven Spawn, who is a streamer, a gamer, and a huge advocate within the disabled gamer community in and of itself. Put together this award show basically by their own admittance to try to bribe or guilt gaming companies into making their games more accessible. Because literally, Alana Pierce says, like, you dangle awards in front of them, all of a sudden people give a shit. Like, which is sad, but it's fucking true though.
Right.
But it's also cool because like I watched the whole thing. It's like an hour. It's on Alana Pierce's YouTube page, and it's an hour-long watch. it's a really fun time, like, honestly, but it's also a really educational thing in terms of, like, understanding what accessibility means and, like, the tools that game creators can use in order to make, and just in general, like, what accessibility means. Steven Spawn at the beginning puts it really well. He says, like, say that you and your friend are watching a baseball game from the other side of the fence. Like, you're not in the stadium, you're on the fence watching the game, and your friend can just, like, look over the fence and see the game easily, but you need to get, like, a soapbox to stand on, or, like, you have your friend help hoist you up and whatnot. That's accessibility, basically, in and of itself, is that it's, like, you want to have as close to the same experience as somebody else does, but just, like, you need some extra tools in order to help you do that. And so it's just an award show that just, like, was highlighting what games have done, like, have made some extra steps, some very obvious extra steps to sort of, like, help make accessibility a much easier thing for people who just, like, don't have the same, like, capabilities as some people, or just, like, born with, like, different, like, features and whatnot themselves.
Absolutely.
So it's, like, it's really, like, so it's a really, really cool thing. I would like to run through, like, some of the stuff that happens.
Yeah, I'm really, like, what are some of the different categories?
Yeah, so, like, the first one here that is showing up for me is the first category was called Second Channel, for games that give players a second means or interface to get the information they may need to progress. So this is, like, so most games, it's, like, it's just very blatant, like, visual cues and whatnot. This adds in, like, different color schemes that you could do for, like, colorblind players and whatnot to get more accessibility there. Sure. If you're hard of hearing or deaf, there's, like, other things that'll happen with, like, visual cues that'll help you out there, or say that more visual cues, or say that, like, you have trouble seeing or you're blind but you still play games. There's more auditory clues that'll help tune you into stuff like that. So it was just, and the one that won for that was the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
To which I can say, having played it, like, that interface is very friendly in terms of, like, indicating where things are, how to log onto them, where to find things and whatnot. So it's like
that makes sense. Yeah,
that one made sense. Clear text was a really, really big one for just, like, being able to make adjustments for, like, subtitles on games, or, like, the general text in a game period and whatnot. Because some people, it's just, like, depending on their vision, just, like, some things just, like, work differently. Yeah. Even for me, just, like, I don't need glasses or contacts or anything like that, but even sometimes I go in and adjust, like, the text on games and whatnot. Halo Infinite won for that one.
Oh, cool.
Which was like Halo Infinite. Just because it got brought up, Halo Infinite won too.
Oh,
which I was very, very happy for. And the other one that I got was for. Sorry, I got to scroll a little bit here because it was down towards the bottom. Oh, the other one I got was for Training Grounds, which is sort of the open world tutorial kind of idea for it. Like, if you ever played, like, I'm trying to think of a good example, like a game that just has a mode where you could just go into, like, an open area with, like, a bunch of the different components of the game, and you just kind of, like, fuck around and get used to it. It's not like a tutorial per se, but it's just, you could sort of, like, it's an open area, but you could just sort of, like, start fucking around with mechanics
like
of the
a
game.
Sandbox almost.
A sandbox, yeah. You could just, like, there's no, like, big enemies, there's no, like, guidance system to it. You could just, like, go in there and kind of, like,
just
start...
Putz
around and start playing with mechanics and whatnot. And just, like, I had never thought about that as being there for
as an
people,
accessibility tool.
Because it's, like, it's stress-free. Someone who has, like, has to remap shit on the buttons and whatnot, or, like, figure out how they're going to actually play the game, just take all their time and just go screw around in there, which I was like, okay, I didn't even think about that being that kind of a tool for somebody.
Right.
There's so much stuff that, like, I don't even recognize as being, like, accessibility tools. But this one, when they announced it, it was really... I didn't expect it. I was watching, I was just, like, cleaning dishes and shit like that. And they announced, like, and the winner is Halo Infinite for Training Grounds. And I cried. Just because, like, it's a franchise that I've been following since I was a kid. So to see that, like, they're being recognized, or at the very least seem to be a group that are making attempts to create more accessibility and to try to make that push forward and whatnot, was just, like, it meant a lot to me to know that there's a company that I've... or at least, like, a franchise of it that I've been in love with since I was a kid that is trying to do good things, which is really cool.
I'm curious, and as time goes on, it'll probably shift, but I'm curious if, because this is only year 2 of the Accessibility Awards.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there are, some winners that weren't exactly, like, trying to be accessible, but, like, accidentally stumbled into being accessible.
That's a great question from what I know, though. So Steven Spawn, like I said, is a big advocate within the disabled gamer community. And he is somebody who is known for, like, not being a dick, but, like, being pretty forward about, like, getting on developers as far as being, like, about, like, reaching out and being, like, Mouse sensitivity is an issue in this. Like, you need, like, just kind of like, look, I'm wheelchair bound. I need more help in this area, and this area, and this area. Like, he has sat down with, like, the developers at, like, Rockstar and places like that tell him, like, here's what you need to fix, here's what you need to do. So it's like, if there's a group of people who, like, really, oh god, and they were paired with a company that that's also, it's like Abled Gamers or something like that. I can't remember what it is. I'm sorry. I'll look it up and send it to Garrett so he can like put an overlay in
on
here.
The screen right now.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot what it was. But they work with somebody else who are like a big advocacy group for disabled gamers and whatnot. So my imagining would be that if it is like with this group, it's definitely people who like know to look for the companies who are actively trying to make these changes and whatnot. Because
good.
Yeah, because like, not to immediately start talking about a new game, but they definitely mention a few times that Elden Ring is a game that has a lot of accessibility issues. A lot of accessibility issues.
Having played it, I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, too, and that this was pointed out by them, and it was pointed out by another guy I started following on TikTok called The Blind Gamer, who really kind of got me... Well, I was already following Steven Spawn and Alana Pierce, but just, like, really kind of got me down this, like, line of, like, I want to get more into, like, this idea of, like, accessibility in gaming and whatnot. But he was doing a podcast. He was talking to another disabled gamer. If they were... By the way, I'm sorry. This is the term that they were using on the award show, was disabled gamers, so I'm hoping that that's the right term. If I'm mixing this up, I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive. This is just like the terminology that I heard, so I'm just, I'm parroting right now. Just want to make sure that like people know I'm not trying to be an asshole about this. But they were talking about that it's like that with stuff like Elden Ring, the quick answer that people always give is like, well, they just introduced like an easy option for the game and whatnot. And they're just like, one, that doesn't fix the problems.
No,
just making it easier to fix the problems.
Yeah.
And two, the thing that people don't talk about with accessibility is not they want the game to be easier.
No.
They want to be able to play the game. By putting an easy mode on something like Elden Ring, that ruins the spirit of the game.
It's like patronizing.
It's very patronizing. Yeah. It's like, we don't want it easier. We just want to be able to play the game. Like, that's all it is.
Duh.
Yeah. And so it's like when people recommend that stuff, like you said, it's very patronizing. It's like it's not addressing what the actual issues are.
Yeah. Making the game easier doesn't like make the text larger and make it like so people can read it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like make the visual cues better. Like it doesn't actually add anything. It's like when somebody says like meets a deaf person and then they start shouting at the deaf person. It's like, you're not fixing your problems. You're not actually helping or doing anything right here. Yeah.
It would be better if you just started writing down what you wanted to tell them. Like that's
right. And even then, that's not a 100% reliable means of communication. Always.
No. I did want to mention though, because we talked about it earlier, and we're going to be playing it. It Takes Two got an award at the Accessibility Awards as well. Yeah. It got peer assistance for games that allow players to progress through challenges presented by the game with assistance from another player.
Oh, nice.
So being able to play through a game with somebody else to be able to help you through puzzles and challenges and whatnot. Which is also, again, something I never thought as being like an accessibility thing. I was like, oh, but it makes sense because the amount of times I've played games that aren't co-op where I could just go like, this would be easier if I had somebody else here. Totally fucking makes sense, though.
What I'm hearing is
not easier. Excuse me. Just like it'd be be able to navigate. Right. Be able to navigate.
What I'm hearing is when things are more accessible for the people that need it to be accessible to, it actually makes it better for everybody.
It really, really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, is just kind of like, as I talked about this too, just like there's some streamers who have like. Because another game they talked about it didn't get an award, but it got kind of a shout out in it too. Was Dead by Daylight?
Oh, okay.
The big multiplayer like run around from the killer kind of thing was just like is one that has made a lot of very obvious steps towards getting more accessibility in their games. Because I talked about that at the beginning of it. It was just like a lot of reach out from fans who were just kind of like, I would love to play your game, but it's got this issue for me, or this issue for me, and this issue for me, and just like. The team immediately started going and just kind of like, oh yeah, we can add this feature, we could change this around a little bit, we can make this a little bit better and whatnot. Just like there are companies and game developers who are making the push and the strides without the guilt of the Game Awards and just like the pressure from it and whatnot. But,
right. And it's good. It's encouraging to hear that like a game like Halo and that developer was actually pushing for that. That's good. That makes
it was a lot
that encourages me.
I mean, just like it's the one time that I was really happy to see a lot of really big names on the docket for something like this.
I'm happy that like the organization that organizes those awards doesn't have to like scrape the bottom of the barrel like, oh, I guess this game was pretty accessible in this category, not even though they weren't trying. You know, I'm glad I'm glad that they're not forced to make decisions like that they're actually able to pick games like where the developers were trying to be accessible, you know?
Exactly.
And then just accidentally stumble into it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Well, it was a cool lineup, just like because it was run like a big award show. Like they had like the two hosts was Alana Pierce, Steven Spawn, and then they had presenters. And like the presenters were obviously people from the disabled gamers community and whatnot. So if you know a lot of them, like the only one that I recognized from that group was this young lady called Sweet Anita, who was I don't want to mix it up because I've been told that it's wrong. I don't think it's Tourette's. Because unless I'm wrong, I think Tourette's is the physical tic that happens for people, whereas what she has she has the physical and the verbal tic that she can't control.
Oh, Tourette's I think can manifest both ways.
It can manifest both ways?
But we're not medical experts.
We're not medical experts, so I'm just like, that's why I'm trying to be careful with this, because I'm not sure.
I am pretty sure that Tourette's can present as both physical and verbal.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that I'm not like misrepresenting anything here. Don't take my advice to anything medical I say in this fucking show ever.
We are not a medical podcast.
No, God, no. I had all. But like they had her, they had fucking Ethan from Crank Gameplays, if you know him at all. Jacksepticeye, who's been a huge name in gaming.
He also won a Streamy Award.
He did. Well, I love Jacksepticeye.
He won the philanthropic one.
Makes sense. He's a good dude. He's a very fucking good dude. Yeah. But also, the whole show was sponsored by Pizza Hut, and one of the presenters was Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, nice!
Yeah.
He's a genuinely good guy,
too. He's a genuinely good dude, too. Well, he had worked with Steven Spawn on something a while ago, too, about, like, the disabled gamer community and whatnot, too. So, just, like, yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, apparently, when they asked him, it's like, would you be down to, like, present a Morpheus? Awesome. He was like, fucking absolutely.
My heart.
Canadians, man.
Better than all of us.
It's true. For the most part. There's some, like, I see some shit on TikTok where I'm just kind of like, oh, you also have racists. Okay. Yeah, cool. Good to know. Fuck.
You know.
But yeah, like I said, it's on, just to go through some other things, just to, like, to help educate a little bit more, too. Like, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker got the award for remapping, games that allow players to remap or reconfigure. Yeah, remap the buttons and whatnot, too.
Oh my god. I want that in every game.
That just needs to be a thing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Period. Like, make it more accessible for, like, the disabled community and the people that need it, and it's better for everybody.
Yeah, and then just, like, if you don't need to remount the buttons, cool, just don't.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Just don't do it.
Right.
AI assistance was a big one. That was Forza Horizon 5, which, again, something I never thought of, was just for games that allow players to progress through challenges with assistance from an in-game AI.
Oh, nice.
Basically, just like if a game realizes you're having trouble in a certain area, it'll, like, drop you some loot or give you something or, like, throw up a guidance system to help you through an area and whatnot.
Or to, like, ask you, like, hey, do you need a hint? Or, like, do you want some guidance here? Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I want the option to say no.
No, I got this. Shut up.
I know, yeah. If I'm struggling, I'm like, no.
God, the amount of games I've just, like, yelled at my TV, just, fuck you, I don't need help.
Yeah.
Okay, but what is it, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then improved precision for games that allow players to increase or decrease things like movement sensitivity, so that they may be precise with their actions in the game or its interfaces.
That's nice.
That went to Far Cry 6, which I was like, okay, cool, big title, big company, Ubisoft and whatnot. That's kind of cool too. Nice. And again, something else too that's just like has always been just been like a thing where it's kind of like, yeah, obviously your players should be able to adjust their sensitivity. I'm personally somebody who, any shooter or any game I get into, I immediately go into my configuration and I bring my sensitivity levels way low.
So that if you make a big movement on your thing, it's like smaller on the character?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So you don't have to super fine like movement?
I know that there are some people like this dude, one of the streamers I still follow, Ray Narvaez, he's on YouTube and Twitch. His shit is always just like maxed out. But that's just like how quick he is, though. That it's just kind of like he needs it to be like that fast. Where it's like if he pushes the joystick, he whips the fuck around where he wants to go, and I'm just like, how the fuck? No, I want to be able to hold the stick to the left, and my character goes
slowly.
Like,
yeah.
I'm good. I want to take my time. I'm fine, thank you. I don't remember
anything else notable.
We did clear text. We did that. Input reduction, which is a big one that I didn't realize. This went to a game called Before Your Eyes from Skybound Games. I don't really know them, but it was for games that allow players to decrease the amount of input reduction needed to successfully undertake a sequence of action required by the game. So, like, stuff where it's like a button mashing sequence. Like Dead by Daylight's a good example. Like, if you get picked up by the killer, you gotta click the two buttons in order to wiggle out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Even for someone like Alana Pearson, the Thing, who talked about how she just has like tendonitis in her thumbs, like just sitting there and like hitting two buttons over and over again can actually start to really, really hurt.
Yeah.
So translating that to like full accessibility for somebody is like, yeah, for some people it's just better if they could just hold down a key or just press one button or like anything that makes it a little more easier. But I know that also goes into mapping as well, because sometimes it just matters in terms of like which are the two buttons that you're clicking over and over again and whatnot. So it all this kind of ties together and whatnot. And I think that was almost ability to bypass. For games that allow players to bypass or skip sections that they're unable to successfully engage with. So this would be like being able to skip like QTEs that aren't that aren't the best for everybody and whatnot.
Right.
Just like certain sections of games, and also just like cutscenes and shit like that too.
Right.
Life is Strange: True Colors, another Square Enix title. So Square Enix took home 2, and the Halo Infinite team 343 Industries took home 2 as well.
Very cool.
And the thing too is like, I don't think anybody gets like a physical award because it was all streamed.
Oh. Well.
And so everyone like sent in their like acceptance speeches and whatnot, and everybody was like streaming from, and everybody who was like presenting awards did it from their homes and whatnot too.
Okay,
so it wasn't
cool.
So as far as I know, there's no like. At least right now, there's no like physical thing they get, so it's not even like a trophy they can show off. There should be something. There should be something.
Surely.
I don't know. I think right now, being able to see you got shouted out and given an award at the Accessibility Awards
of course.
should be enough of a fucking clout chase for you.
Yeah.
Not that you should need the clout chase to try to make your games easier or more accessible. For some people, I'm realizing I do that too. I keep saying make it easier. It's not about making it easier. It's about accessibility. So my own language needs to change on this fucking subject too. Yeah. So I'm working on that as well.
Making it more, lowering the bar to entry.
Exactly, it's lowering the bar to entry. Yeah. It's what it is still part of the philosophy we always talk about on the show though. Yeah. That it's like anyone can be a gamer, anyone can fucking play a game. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. But whenever I know this brought it up to me though, watching the show brought it up to me though. So like as far as like not to put us down like that because I think we're doing good, but just like in terms of just like how we present ourselves as being like accepting to all gamers are welcome, like we don't make a big effort to say like, and yes, this does include like the disabled gamers community. We want you guys to listen and watch us too. And so just like that, but that's something I kind of want to get better on moving forward too, is just like talking about, occasionally bringing up stuff like this and talking about
I love
it
that.
on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah. There's no reason that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're in something that.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Alana Pierce on YouTube. It's on her channel. It's like an hour and 10 minutes long, and it's a really fun watch, and you get to learn a lot of stuff. And it's really cool to see the company, the bigger companies especially, trying to make these big strides forward and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's not on here, and I don't remember which one it was, but Among Us got something. I think it might have just been like the most progress for like accessibility or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, of their panel of people, they had vote on like the nominees. Just everybody said Among Us. So like Among Us is the company that makes Among Us is another group that is apparently making like big moves and strides for like accessibility and whatnot for gamers, which is really, really cool.
Who knew?
Just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah,
that's really cool.
That's what I was doing my day to day, was checking this out.
Well, there's one more thing that I have to talk about, I hope that this is also accessible to people that want to go visit. It's Super Nintendo World is coming to Los Angeles.
What a time to be alive!
I feel like it's about time.
It really, really is.
Yeah.
I've just like, this has been like the thing that we talked about when we were kids.
I know.
That just like the Nintendo Disneyland would just be like the perfect. I wouldn't go anywhere else as a child. Like fuck Six Flags and Disneyland. That would be the only place I would ever go.
Yeah.
Where else do you need to go? I haven't really cared about Nintendo that much for a long time.
Right, but
I'm psyched that this is happening.
me fucking too, man. So we don't really know what it's gonna look like yet. It's coming in 2023, so it's a ways out. But if you've seen anything from Japan's Super Nintendo World, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they had already had it like set up in Japan and how cool it already was.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I first heard about it coming to Los Angeles, I was like, are we going to get a fucking DashCon situation again? Because that would also be kind of amazing.
DashCon?
That was the Tumblr con that they did years ago.
Oh, DashCon.
Yes! Where it was just 3 sad people in a fucking tiny kiddie pool filled with balls.
Yeah. Oh, DashCon. Why would it be that? Why would it be that?
I don't know. You fucking what do you mean? We're living in the post. Just what was the other big one? Fucking Firefest. We're living post DashCon and Firefest, all right? It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, those are events. This is a whole theme park expansion.
Fair enough.
But yes, so the one in Japan looks really, really cool because they have the Mario Kart ride that is got virtual reality going on too. They have a Yoshi ride, and then a lot of merch and just fun things that you can interact with within the park. So it should be a pretty cool. I kind of hope that it's larger once it's moved out here. I hope we get a big wing of the theme park that is the Super Nintendo World, but we'll see what happens.
Where are they gonna put it?
I don't know. Probably near Universal.
I mean, that's what I mean, though, because I'm just where do we have space in fucking California anymore to put another theme park in?
Well, it's going to be a section of, how Harry Potter...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's not its own theme park. It's part of Universal.
Oh, they're expanding Universal. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was where the fuck are they going to put this shit now?
No, it's its own thing, but it's going to be an expansion of Universal Studios.
Gotcha.
So.
It still trips me out sometimes that Universal is expanding as a theme park. But yet that place is also an actual studio that still makes things.
Makes movies and stuff.
It's just how do you keep how do you do that?
It's probably how they keep themselves afloat.
Or I don't know. Universal is still a pretty big production company. I
don't know. Maybe.
I would assume that between the two things, I would assume that well, I don't know. They've been fucking up lately. They've been really... Somebody at Universal is still really pushing for the dark Universal cinematic universe to be a fucking thing. It's the shit where they keep remember when the Tom Cruise Mummy movie and I think that was the only thing they got made, actually. They had 5 other plans. I think that was it. Yeah, the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, that was supposed to be... Okay, a few years back they made a remake of the original Mummy movie with Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And that was supposed to that was supposed to be the beginning catalyst for this expanded universe of the Universal monster movies. So in the movie, they allude to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde being a thing. They announced that Javier Bardem, I think, was going to be in a Frankenstein movie. Johnny Depp was going to be in an Invisible Man movie. It was going to be a whole thing where it was going to legitimately try to make an expanded universe. Get the monsters back together, essentially. Yeah. Which on paper sounds cool, but...
Was Jim Carrey going to come back for The Grinch?
No, he was not.
Oh, no. Then that's no wonder that it fell apart.
He's not part of the original Universal monsters. I hate you. I hate you so goddamn much.
I got you to laugh.
Jesus Christ. So fucking dumb. I hate it.
Thank you all so much for listening. That is the end of this episode. We hope that you enjoyed listening to us talk about the world of video games and what's going on right now, talking about the awards, the accessibility awards, really inspiring things that are coming in the world of video games. We want to know, what should we cover in the future, and what are you looking forward to this year in gaming? Let us know.
Also, if you have any ideas for future discussions, please send us an email at 3VLpodcast@gmail.com. You can give us your ideas. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at 3VL Podcast. We're also on TikTok under the same name. And now, pretty much every Monday moving forward now, you can catch either both of us or Brendan on our Twitch channel. Same name, 3VO. So please come check us out there if you guys just like watching us being a bunch of goofballs while we play games and whatnot.
Fridays too.
And Fridays too. Okay,
yeah,
so apparently Fridays is
Monday
also...
and Friday, 8 o'clock.
Monday and Friday at 8 o'clock too.
Yeah.
We're going to work on trying to get us both to do like a solo stream and whatnot. I just currently don't have the equipment right now. So
We're going to get that. We're going to get that.
It's going to happen. So at the very least, you will see both of us
every
other Monday when we after we record our podcast. Then that you will see this lovely gentleman on Monday and Friday. So we thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the stuff we got coming out.
See ya.